I'm taking a chance here with this color. Hi. We have another room to get done. If you're new here, my name's Marcel. I've been renovating this house to turn it into a cute little Airbnb. It definitely needs some work, but things are starting to get done in here. I've already finished the kitchen and the living room, so now I'm moving into the primary bedroom. This is a pretty good sized room. It doesn't need a ton of work, but it does need some love. I really like this green color, so I'm going to work it into the design. The room has this existing trim up around the ceiling that I love, so I think I'm going to put it up there. Because if you've watched any of my videos before, you know I love a painted ceiling. Period! This is a pretty intense yellowy green, but since this is going to be a short-term rental, I feel like, why not? If it's terrible, I can always change it. I'm continuing the vintage vibe in here with the furniture and the artwork, but I also plan on making a custom headboard for the bed. It's nothing too crazy, but I think it's going to look good and it's pretty easy to do. So yeah, as always, I have to prep the walls for paint because there's a million nail holes, so let's get to it.
Let's go!
I did a couple coats of mud to fill in all those holes. I feel like the previous owner had like 1,000 frame photos up in here because there was so many. While that dried, I started cleaning the trim boards. You can't really tell, but there was literally like a 1/4 inch of dust up there, so it needed it. From there, I did a wet sand on all the patching. It already looks so much better without all those holes everywhere. Then I started caulking the trim. There was a bunch of gaps, so they needed to be fixed. After using so much caulk in the living room, I wasn't surprised that it needed a lot in here too. Definitely not as much as the living room though. That was crazy. Alright, all the prep work is done, so it's time to paint. Also, if you haven't watched the transformation of this room, I'll put a link to it in the description box below. You should check it out. It's good. First thing was the primer. I did 2 coats of that, but left the trim and doors the existing wood tone. I used the same polar bear color by Bear in a flat finish. The walls have almost a sandy texture, so I used a 3/8 inch snap roller to help smooth it out a bit. Then I started prepping for the ceiling paint. I taped the trim off and did a coat of the wall color first to try and keep my lines as clean as possible. After that dried, it was time to go in with that Thai curry color in a flat finish. The first coat was so yellow, which definitely made me a little nervous. I knew right away that this was going to take at least 3 coats to look opaque. I was trying to put it on thick with the roller, but it didn't really help. If you're considering using this color, just keep in mind that you'll probably have to do 3 coats. Maybe even 4 in some spots. Then it was the moment of truth to see how clean my lines were when the tape came off. I did have to touch up 2 little spots, but nothing crazy. Anyway, moving on. How are we feeling the ceiling color?
No.
I love it. I'm just a little freaked out because it's pretty close to baby poop green.
Disgusting!
Anyway, I just got to the store so I can get everything for the headboard. I found these 8-foot planks that I'm going to cut in half to keep with the low mid-century vibe. Plus, I save a little bit of money, which is good because I'm still in the red after that kitchen reno. I ended up getting 22 of these planks to get it to the width I wanted, and then I cut all those in half with my chop saw. Once they were all the right size, I did 2 coats in the same Thai curry color but in a semi-gloss finish. I used this 1/2 inch plywood as my base for the headboard, but before attaching it to the wall, I had to find the studs. Wallabot sent me their stud finder to try, so I made a separate short that I'll link in the description box where I talk all about it if you want to check it out. Once those were all marked, I used some painter's tape to make my life easier so I could actually see them, and then attach the plywood to the wall, securing it to the studs. Making sure it was level, of course. I put in a screw every 8 inches in each stud so it was nice and secure. Then I painted the edges of the plywood so it would disappear. Put some liquid nails on there for extra grip, and attached the planks with my nail gun. I put around 4 or 5 nails in each one. There were a lot of nail holes to patch, so I did that with some wood putty. After that dried, I did a wet sand with a slightly damp sponge to smooth everything out, and a final coat of paint with a 1/2 inch roller to finish her off. Now there's even more of this color in the room.
I'm scared.
I feel like once all the artwork is in and everything else, it's going to make more sense. I hope so. At this point, I just got to trust my vision because it's too late now. So yeah, let's start bringing it all in to see if I'm right. I installed some blackout shades to avoid having to get curtains since I'm not a big fan of those. A new flush mount light to replace that tiny little fan that was there. I made this rack so guests would have more places to hang stuff because I don't know about you, but I love a hook. I wasn't sure which way I wanted the rug to go, so I unrolled it this way, but I ended up turning it the other direction. Of course, I didn't do it till after the bed was put together, which was kind of annoying, but whatever. Unboxing a king-size mattress is intense, but once it was all unwrapped and a little more the shape it was supposed to be, I put on the new bedding. I decided to go with all white since I want it to feel like a hotel, but I also want guests to see that it's fresh and clean. I did end up getting a black quilt for the foot of the bed to help ground all the green in the room. It also complements all the black in this amazing vintage print that we got for above the headboard. I found this dresser for like 50 bucks. I got lucky and topped it off with a plant in this mirror. The corner needed something, so this turquoise chair was perfect. And a little owl artwork from my collection to keep the birdhouse vibe going. This chair's cute, right? I was driving home one night and saw that someone put it out on the side of the road, so I snatched it up real quick.
That's hot. That's hot.
As a disclaimer, I did make sure it didn't have like bed bugs or anything else. But it's a super solid chair. The turquoise color is kind of perfect for in here, so it was a good free find. Anyway, I think the room's as done as it's gonna get for now, so let's take a look. Well, after everything's all said and done, I think I'm into the color. The headboard, the painting, and the ceiling are all working together, so I think it's good. Halfway through doing this room, I was definitely questioning everything, but it's a vibe. I do think a desk would look really good right here in this empty spot. It's a bummer because I found a really cute mid-century one a couple months ago, but I didn't end up getting it because I didn't think I needed it. But of course I do, and now it's gone, so I'm just gonna have to wait until I find another one. It honestly gives me an excuse to keep treasure hunting at thrift stores. Anyway, thanks so much for taking the time to watch. I want to know what you think about that green color and the room overall, so let me know in the comments. Or if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them there as well. I'm starting work on the bathroom next, so subscribe if you want to see how all that comes together. I'm honestly just going to keep making videos whether you do or not, so you might as well, right?
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Like, hype, and all that other stuff. It really helps my little channel, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's it for now, so I'll see you soon. Bye. What do you think about this color?
At first I was super I love it.
No, you don't.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, at first I was super skeptical about this green. Like when I saw it on the ceiling, I was like, ew. But now that it's in here with the print and stuff, I like it. It's good. It's cute.